Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dokkan Battle video, and today we are taking on the new Burst mode on Global, and I had a lot of fun with this one. This one was definitely a lot more fun than the first one. If you guys all remember, we had the STR Kaioken Goku glitch on the first one, so like a lot of people cheesed it, and then they took away the rewards, and you had to redo it, and it was like a, just like a story stage. This one we actually get to do a Dokkan event, which is really cool. So we're doing this Dokkan event here against Boujack, and you're noticing it actually matters on the map. Like, I'm actually trying to collect ki because one of the things I hit in burst mode to help me get points was to take away some of my party's ki. So getting those ki on the map was really good. Now, I do think this team or some iteration of this team is probably the easiest way to get 6,000 points. So this is a, what was the requirement? I think it's Space Traveling Warriors, right? So this is a Space Traveling Warriors build, but a lot of these, and then this is a full STR build, which Wicked Bloodline has a bunch of STR characters on it, and they're all Space Traveling Warriors. So the only thing that kind of restricts a little bit is I did have to put team cost. Otherwise, I would probably have LR Full Power Frieza, and then even the Prime Battle Frieza probably would be on my team. You could do like a whole Wicked Bloodline team here, but because of the team cost, like putting that free-to-play Prime Battle Frieza is like 99 cost. Like, you can't do that. And then I think even the other one's like 78 cost or something ridiculous. So because of cost, I couldn't run like the full team. So you can see like Rakum and Goldo, they're just like floating around to like potentially, just guard and have defense or whatever. But really I'm focused on both of these coolers that are on rotation. So really it's the Dokkan Fest TUR one that got an easy A, and then it's also LR Final Form cooler, and you just let them tear it up. Now you can see we took a lot of damage there, 260k. They hit hard here because I had to put a bunch of attack on them to get the code, right? Or to get I'm talking DFFOO now with codes. It's kind of like doing codes, right? Like this, basically, for those of you that play DFFOO or maybe that don't, but in Dokkan, this is our equivalent of Crevasse, basically, is what it is. Crevasse on DFFOO is where you set your restrictions and then you make the fight harder based on the restrictions and then you fight, and that's what we're doing here in Dokkan. The big thing here, when I set my restrictions for points, I never give them damage reduction. I feel like giving them damage reduction, especially for how many points it gives you, it's not worth it. So I definitely don't give the enemies any damage reduction. And I do give them a lot of attack, but as long as I can, pierce through, like, I don't think I really gave them any defense either, but I did give them a lot of HP, right? That's why it takes us a while, but you can see these coolers are so powerful that we can just pierce through, right? What's really cool about this too, really what burst mode is, it's kind of reminding me of like what the game used to be like when I first started, or what an experience might be for a beginner player, right? Like for a new player with not a lot of units, like Dokkan events can be hard. And so for me, it's kind of fun like replaying an old Dokkan event, but it's actually challenging, right? Because here, this phase, you actually have to have strategy, right? Like you can't attack Boujack, like he's not killable. And the minions do like sealing and stunning, like they do status effects. So it's like, we got to get these minions out of here. Now, with this TUR cooler, I mean, I just let him stack defense like a boss pretty much the whole time. Without a pure hybrid Saiyan, it's almost not worth transforming. Like, he does hit a lot harder after transforming, but it's like, I'd rather just sit here and stack defense and then let LR cooler go crazy, right? Now, I definitely would have done double LR cooler leads, but once again, it's the team cost restriction. And the Dokkan Fest TUR is so good that I don't mind just bringing two of him and letting him stack defense, right? I definitely could have like shafted my team somewhere else and tried to get less team cost. I could have even tried bringing like an unawakened unit, maybe instead of like Rakum and Goldo, or like just kind of one of those dead slots for me. I definitely could have done that and then brought double LR cooler and gone really crazy, right? Definitely could have done that. But like I said, that's why I said I think that the best team for this is just some iteration of this, because this is fulfilling the Space Traveling Warriors mission, and it's also one of the big category requirements to get, like, I think you got 1,000 points just for doing this team. So it's very good to do it within this category. Now, I do have another run up on my channel. I think it went up before this one. My other run, I think, is actually the harder run, and that run actually went smoother for me. I think I just got really lucky with RNG, because in this run, you're seeing we are taking some hits. Like, it's not just smooth sailing, and even with stacking defense, like, these coolers still take a lot of damage. But my other run was the Connected Hope one. And it's so funny because in this run, I've got like double 200% leads for like most of the team. We're doing like really high attack stats. But in the other run, my Connected Hope, I'm running a 120 all types lead and a STR Gogeta 77% lead. So we are nowhere near the leader skill we're getting on this team. And the other team still got through just fine. So I think I got really lucky with RNG. Unless I did something different in my setup for burst mode that allowed that one to go smoother. I just kind of went through each one and just tried to get the 6,000 points with things that I thought were reasonable, right? So you guys can watch my other run and see how that one went, but that was kind of a fun run, and I didn't realize, you know, until I had gone in with this cooler team, because I recorded that run first, my Connected Hope run. And I'm like, okay, that was challenging, but we got through and we didn't even have like a full leader skill. So I thought when I went in with this cooler team, we were going to annihilate it. I'll tell you this is my second time recording it. The cooler team actually died my first try, and it was pretty much the same team as this. So I think I had a really lucky Connected Hope run, because that definitely is the more challenging team to get through with, especially if you're going with one type. And I did do STR for that run as well. It was STR Connected Hope, and it was really STR Namek Goku that carried that fight for me. But yeah, that's what I went with there. But because the units were wonky enough, it was really hard to get them all on a team that fit when I was being that restrictive. So I ran the 1000-day Goku as a leader, and then I ran a friend STR Gogeta, who's a super old EZA, like not good, and only carried a 70% leader skill. But then I was flexible enough to just run all these other units regardless of if they were on, you know, other team builds from leader skill. So I don't know, I got through with it. I think that was definitely an interesting run. Now here, it's kind of fun because I haven't used this STR Boujack as much, and he's actually doing pretty good transformed here. I'm actually really excited for this guy's EZA. I definitely think he could be on STR Cooler's level, because he is very much built like STR Dokkan Fest Cooler. So I mean, this guy with an EZA could definitely be looking really, really good. And during this celebration, we are going to get Int Bojack's EZA. Like, honestly, with this celebration, I'm more excited about the EZAs than the units. I didn't really pull on Tech Bardock. I just got lucky and got him with tickets. But, like, I'm excited for the sub-EZA Bardocks. I think they're very good, especially the physical one. And I'm excited for Int Bojack's EZA. So, like, yeah, there's just some fun stuff coming here that I'm excited for in terms of EZAs. So we'll be looking forward to that when those drop. So here's Cooler dropping an active skill. And yeah, nullified an attack. So I know it might seem unwise to use the active skill when you're type disadvantaged, but to me, this is the most problematic phase in the fight. So I'm going to pull out all the stops here. So I did use the active skill, I nullified an attack, and that may have been a super attack, right? Like, I may have just saved a ton of damage there. Now, unfortunately, I did miss the super attack in slot 1. I probably just should have put LR Cooler in slot 1, and then I probably would have supered with both of them. That probably would have been the better thing to do, but I just kind of went through an attack. I think what it was I thought I had enough orbs, and I didn't. So just a little brain fart there, but yeah, 11 mil attack stat now for STR Cooler, and he's still building up, right? Like, he's still not there yet. By the end of this video, this boy's going to be hitting like 15 mil attack stats, and then just kind of going crazy. Now, if this Cooler would actually crit for me, this Bojack would go down a lot quicker. But this Bojack is going to be very pesky if we're not critting, because nobody has type advantage here, right? Like, we need crits. The whole team is STR. Raccoon and Goldo, they're taking a 64k normal. They're definitely out of their element, but we do have a Jace on the team, so we have 2 Ginyu Force members, right? And Jace is there as basically a floating support unit that has Scouter, but he definitely will get smacked up pretty good. But yeah, without having a Ginyu on rotation with Raccoon and Goldo, you can't count on them guarding, and they need to get hit to build up, which I'm just constantly floating them, so I'm not really giving them the chance to build up. So they're really just there as a filler slot with like a lower team cost is really what I'm using them for, and then hoping they can guard. So I decide here, sure, why not? Let's get a little bit more offensive. Let's transform Cooler, because I'm like, I just got to get this Bojack out of here. We got to get this AGL phase done. And I'm thinking if we can do that, we should be smooth sailing from here on out. Because even though the other phases hit harder, we're type neutral or type advantage, we'll take a lot less damage. But yeah, and I just cannot get crits to save my life. There's a crit on a normal, but we need a crit on a super. Like, if we could actually crit on a super, we would just about one-shot this Boujack, right? But of course, it's not happening. This is why this cooler is so much better against pure and hybrid Saiyans, because he's got guaranteed crit. And I didn't give him, like, any crit at all. So, like, when you're not doing that, like, it's very hard for him to crit. Because he's a unit that's like, yeah, just go crazy, go full additionals, because you're typically going to be against a pure hybrid Saiyan, and you'll get those crits. Now, Boujack here hitting 5 mil, I'm actually kind of impressed for how old he is, right? It's telling me that when he EZAs, he's going to be a monster. Like, he's going to be really, really good. So looking forward to that Boujack in the future. Now, it's going to depend on timing, right? Because by the time he EZAs, Boujack could be phased out already, so then we're going to need other support for him. We'll have to see what the situation's like. So I decided to use Turles' active skill here. Figured, why not? We got to go crazy. We got to get rid of this AGL Boujack. Probably was unnecessary because these coolers should be able to finish him off. But both my coolers are above, about 500k HP start a turn. So I'm feeling pretty good here, right? Like, all right, even type disadvantage, we should tank well here. We've got a lot of defense. Now we just got to get some crits to get this guy out of here. Because even with all the damage we have here, with no crits, we still might not take him out. Like, he's just going to tank forever. So we at least got a defense stack here. But let's see, we're type disadvantage, right? Okay, double digits. So we did finally get our defense up enough. So now at this point, I know we're fine. Other than, like, if a really bad floating unit gets hit. But yeah, look at that. 15 mil attack stat now for LR Cooler. He's definitely starting to cook. And look at that. A 12 mil crit. Had he just done that turn 1, he probably would have one-shot the phase. But that fight got so drawn out because no crits on the supers. Now I'm feeling good because we're just, like, on a phase where, like, at least we're type neutral. The crits won't matter as much. I'm a little worried about Raccoon and Goldo on the end because they haven't gotten hit much to build up. They're not linked well, but thankfully we got supered right away. So we can kind of gauge how much damage is this Boujack going to do. Because this cooler has a lot of defense, so double digits. So, all right. At this point now, we've built up to the point where it's like, yeah, we're pretty good here. We've pretty much got this fight in hand. But early in the fight, you guys saw there were some dicey moments. We took like 260k, 300k damage. You definitely can get caught early in this fight, even with this godly cooler team being like a 200% team. And here's Boujack at almost 6 mil. Once again, compared to current units, not crazy, but for how old he is, I'll take a 6 mil attack stat for Boujack. It's pretty dang good. And he was like completely unsupported there. Because, he loses his own support, and Cooler loses his support when they transform. So yeah, pretty impressed with STR Boujack actually in this fight. Alright, so now we got a Dokkan attack. Now, realistically, I probably should have taken that with LR Cooler, but I never pay attention to the Dokkan meter, so that it always surprises me every time it pops up. But you're going to see the difference now. Now that we're not type disadvantage, you're going to see how quickly we dispatch of this Boujack. It's going to go very quick. 6 mil, and then, when the other cooler is going to be hitting for 15 mils, and we are at least type neutral, the damage is going to drop a lot quicker here. So what do we get on the Dokkan damage here? Dokkan attack damage. So yeah, about 10 mil, like almost half of his life gone, a 6 mil additional, while still stacking defense. So now it's like overkill. We've got plenty of defense, and then yeah, here's about a 15 mil attack stat. And Boujack is not long for this world at this point. Yeah, 10 mil crit. Took him down to 2 bars. Here's a 10 mil additional. Pretty darn good for our boy LR Cooler. And this isn't even a rainbowed one, right? And then, yeah, just about dead, and then the normal finishes. So, anyways, guys, there you go. There is my burst mode run. So this is also a 6,000 point run. So I have 2 6,000 point runs on my channel. Let me know how you tackle this fight. If you guys need help with this, with team building, I do have a Discord that's in the description of all my videos. Feel free to hop into my Discord. We have a team building channel in there. So anyways, guys, I hope this helps. Thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all on the next one.